Hi, everybody. Welcome to the 6th episode of Hanjado, The Way of Hanja. And let's get started with today's episode, which is brought to you by the Hanja Gi, which is the 6th heavenly stem. Oh, but you can't see it yet, can you? Okay, so I'm going to share my screen and then start this slideshow. Now, oh yeah, so I do want to review the counting in Sino-Korean. We will get to, in just a minute, today's Hanja Gi, which is a very simple one. Both the Hanja and the Hangul are quite simple. Which gives us a chance to do some review, or so I do encourage you to learn this along with, if you learn one Hanja a day, that's fine. If you follow along these videos in real time as they come out once a day, then that's a steady process of learning Hanja. If you want to be more aggressive, there's lots of other things, and as these episodes go along, I'll introduce some other materials that you can use to learn the Hanja in the Heart Sutra, the Hanja that are in different mantras, and in addition to what I'm able to provide, there's lots of other resources out there if you're interested in learning Chinese characters. But one thing that is I think universally relevant to anybody who's learning Chinese characters is to learn how to count, at least up to 10. And in particular in Sino-Korean, it's not that hard. Il, I, Sam, Sa, O, Yuk, Chil, Pa, Gu, Ship. And so later on in this series, in the Hanjado series, we will look at each of these and learn each of these Hanja and Hangul as days of this series, which is a little ways down the road. But for now, I have emphasized that it's important to learn the meaning, how to read and write, and how to recognize and how to recognize the sound, and also how to produce the sound, as well as learning the radical, and then also learning the Hangul for each character. That's 7 things. For now, until we get to them treat them as their own days in the Hanjado series. For now, just learn the sound and the meaning. Il means 1, I means 2, Sam means 3, Sa means 4, O means 5, Yuk means 6, Chil means 7, Pal means 8, Gu means 9, and Ship means 10. And I strongly recommend that you use that as you're writing the characters, as I'll demonstrate in a few minutes later on in this video. Okay, so this is the 6th heavenly stem, and actually, if you know Japanese, then you will recognize that these Japanese names that I've been giving for each stem, and I haven't drawn attention to them, but they're written on the slide when I show the stroke order diagram and the stroke order animation for each Hanja, also shows the Korean, Vietnamese, Japanese, and Mandarin pronunciations for the Hanja, as well as showing the radical and even the JLPT and HSK test levels, as well as the number of strokes and the Hangul, corresponding Hangul. But in where the Japanese pronunciation is given, the Japanese pronunciation actually tells you the the deeper meaning. You know, we say the meaning of this character is the sixth heavenly stem. Well, what is the sixth heavenly stem? The sixth heavenly stem is a combination of the element of earth with the vital energy of yin. And I'm referring to yin and yang as vital energies, but I'm not sure. There are different ways of, just as I'm referring to wood, fire, earth, metal, and water as elements, which is a somewhat of a funky translation into English, but we'll just leave it at that for now. Tsuchinoto, which I'm probably not getting the emphasis on the syllables correct. Tsuchinoto, something like that. Tsuchi means earth, and no means is the possessive particle, and oto means in this case a younger brother. So Tsuchinoto is the younger brother of earth, which means the yin of earth. Okay. Well, I'll talk a little bit more about that, and maybe it's even on the next slide. Oh, but before that, let's of course look at the look more closely at the stroke order diagram and the stroke order animation. There's only 3 strokes in this Hanja, relatively simple, in fact quite simple as Hanja go, and as often the case with simpler Hanja, this Hanja is in fact a radical. There are only 214 or so radicals in among all of the Chinese characters. There are tens, if not hundreds of thousands of Chinese characters, and actually most the radicals that occur most often are far fewer than the 200 total that there are in theory. Anyway, so since a character must contain a radical, the fewer strokes a character has, the more likely it is that the character itself is a radical, because the radical has to be either the character itself or part of the character. And there's fewer parts. The fewer strokes there are, the fewer parts there are in a character. Anyway, so this has 1 stroke, angled stroke at the top, 1 horizontal stroke going across, 2. Oh, well, I might as well turn that on. It's lame to just... So, first stroke goes across, left to right, and then sharply down. Second stroke goes straight across, left to right. And the third stroke curves around and hooks up. So this is not... So notice that this is more of a right angle, and this is more of a bend, and this hooks up. Okay, and then the stroke order diagram is very useful, but the stroke order animation is also very good to have. And so this is Gi Il, Gi I, and Gi Sam. Let's see, did I confuse it? Okay, Gi 1, Gi 2, Gi 3, Gi Il, Gi I, Gi Sam. Okay, now, as I was just talking about the so I was referring to the Japanese pronunciation of this particular Hanja. So if we go, let's see what happens. Can I click on this live? Probably not. Let's see. Oh yeah, here we go. It did work. And here's that page. Oh, it says it's not found. Oh, let's see. See, I had a typo in. I'll have to fix the slide. This should work. There we go. All right, so now this will give the pronunciation of this Hangul, gi, the Hangul gi.
Gi.
That's one native speaker.
Ki.
There's another native speaker.
Ki.
And even though in theory, the initial consonant in this Hangul is ga, which we call in the English alphabet a G, although we pronounce it ga, right? It is in fact, I don't know what that is, probably somebody telling me I need an extended warranty or something. Who knows? Oh yeah, the initial ga consonant is very often pronounced in a way that sounds to an English speaker much like our letter K, ka, hard K. All right, now let's see. It looks like it has the slash. Oh, it must be a mistake in the underlying. Let's see if I can get this to come up. No. Well, all right. I will. Oh, that's not good. If we go to, so I'll give it a live demonstration of how easy this is. That's we go to DuckDuckGo. How is? Oh yeah, here I can use my screen. If you don't understand what I'm doing here, don't worry too much about it. But here's the character that we are looking at right now, the sixth heavenly stem. If I go to DuckDuckGo or any other search engine, say how is pronounced in Mandarin. A bunch of stuff will come up, but one thing that I'm looking for is, oh yeah, this one. This seems to be a pretty helpful site. I don't have any relationship with the people who do this site, but let's just see how they give the pronunciation.
Ji.
Okay, well let's see if I can.
Ji.
Now they're saying that it is. Oh yeah. So if you look at the Mandarin, you can see the Mandarin here, the pinyin. G, it's actually got a G sound at the beginning in Mandarin Chinese, and it sounds G. I'm not going to attempt to reproduce the. Oh yeah, and then this is the. Let's see. Sometimes this works. Sometimes it doesn't. No. Okay. If you look at the see the diacritic on the I, what we would call in English the on the Y. Let's see. Smaller. Sorry. We would say, oh, there it is. Good. Go to Forvo again, see if I can get some recordings of native speakers pronouncing. This might be it. It's hard. The Forvo doesn't always, especially with the Vietnamese, it sometimes doesn't get the diacritics. Right. Here it is. And so now we are here at Forvo. If you look closely, actually I can blow it up a little bit. You can see it has the correct diacritic. And here is
Kỹ.
It sounds like they're, I don't know, maybe Forvo might be putting some background noise in there since I'm not paying for it. But anyway, the that's just an example of how you can, search around. You can go to YouTube, probably find lots of YouTube videos of native speakers of Vietnamese, Mandarin, Korean, and any other language pronouncing anything you want. What about Japanese? And so I already explained what's written down here. I explained half of what's written down here. There are two ways of saying the 10 heavenly stems in Japanese. One way is to use the much older onyomi pronunciation, which is usually quite similar to the Mandarin, Korean, and Vietnamese pronunciations, and that's kind of the I don't know. I'm not sure. Neither one of these is more correct than the other, but the kunyomi pronunciation of the sixth heavenly stem and of all the heavenly stems is quite interesting, because it actually tells you the element and the vital energy that's involved. As I explained before, the fifth heavenly stem is Tsuchinoe, which is, even though you can write, if you write the character of the sixth heavenly stem, it can be pronounced this way, but if you break down the pronunciation and write it out in Japanese, it represents Tsuchi, which is the element of earth, no, which is like an apostrophe S in Japanese, and then A, which means older brother. Just older brother. And so the sixth stem, today's Hanja, or in Japanese kanji, is Tsuchi no To. Tsuchi no To, which is a combination of Tsuchi, no, and Oto. Oto meaning younger brother. So A for older brother represents yang, and Oto for younger brother represents yin. In this way of another thing. So unlike some of the other heavenly stems, this one actually has some significant meaning separate from its meaning as one of the heavenly stems. In particular, this character, which in Sino-Korean is pronounced gi, means self. And so this is actually from Zen Master Sung San's Compass of Zen. It's interesting to know that the original of the Compass of Zen is written in classical Chinese. And so this is: do not cling to your opinions, do not discuss your private views with others. To cling to and defend your opinions is to destroy your practice. And the two places where he refers to opinions is here. This is self, and this character here, which is in Sino-Korean, is pronounced, I think that's Gyeon. Let me just double check that. Yep, Gyeon. And that's actually in the Heart Sutra when we say Gwanjaje Bosal Hengshimbanya Badamilta Shijo Gyeon O On Ge Gong. We say Shijo Gyeon. Gyeon. This is actually Gyeon. That's the Gyeon in Shijo Gyeon O On Ge Gong. Dewil Che Goek. Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva, well, when practicing deeply the Prajnaparamita, perceives that all five skandhas are empty and is saved from all suffering and distress. Here, Gyeon is part of a two-character word in the Heart Sutra, Jo Gyeon, which is translated into English as perceives, but it's actually much more interesting than that if you dig down into the meaning of the characters. But anyway, but here we're just this is using Gyeon in the sense of view. So it's self-view. So self-view means opinion, or your own stinking opinion, right? Yeah. there's some, oh yeah, so self view, self plus view, one's own opinion. What is this? This is Greek. Ganati Seauton, something like Ganati Seauton. This is Attic Greek, which of course I can't properly pronounce Attic Greek either. This is Ganati Seauton, written in classical Chinese, and it means know thyself. This is a famous teaching of Socrates. It also was what was supposed to have been written over the entryway as you entered the famous oracle of Apollo at Delphi. Know thyself, Ganati Seauton. And a favorite Greek philosophical teaching of Zen Master Sung San's, also, by the way. And this is from the Tao Te Ching. And here, so this is a combination of the character. What is it? Oh yeah, this is actually this character is Ja. So this is Ja Gi in Sino-Korean, and this means oneself. So the character Gi by itself can be used to mean oneself. And here we have In-gi, and this is the character for person. So this is an interesting. The character Ja, which I'm indicating right here, this also means self. So this is an example, a common pattern in Chinese where two characters that mean the same thing are put together to mean what they both mean individually, with maybe some extra nuances of meaning added in by this particular combination. And here, the character for person and the character for self is here. Well, this is the quote from this verse, the 81st verse in the Tao Te Ching. The sage does not accumulate. The more he does for others, the more he has. The more he shares with others, the more he gains. And it's important to point out that actually in classical Chinese, there is no he, there is no she, there is only the person. So there isn't. So you could translate this into English with the pronoun they in the singular sense, or you could make it plural, which is another way of dealing with this problem with Chinese, where Chinese, especially classical Chinese, usually does not indicate gender, and often doesn't indicate number either. But anyway, so the sage, you could say the sages do not accumulate. The more they do for others, the more they have. The more they share with others, the more they gain. It's another way of translating it, meaning the same thing. And here, so when this says the more they do, the more he does for others, the more he has. This is kind of an emphasis. The more he has for himself. This is himself, or oneself, or the person's self. And this is again, the more they share with others, the more they gain for themselves. Anyway, so it isn't always the case that the heavenly stems are also used in any other particular way. All right, now where I gotta get I actually broke down in paid for. Now I have the paid version of the DroidCAN software, so it won't be quite as it'll actually look a little bit better. He said, hopefully. All right, let's see. There we go. And you still can't see that. That's just as well because I haven't got it set up quite right yet. All right. Let's look pretty good. Okay. I'm gonna have to. So actually, I will stop the recording at this point, just because I gotta take that call. Let's see. Okay, so oh, here we go. We're gonna make this bigger. We're going to put it in full screen. All right. And oh yeah, that's right. That's the other problem that I've been having is with the focusing, which I haven't worked out yet because I'm not really that smart. So what are you gonna do? Okay, here we go. All right, that looks like it's gonna work. So this is the Hanja gi. It has 3 strokes, and it looks. Oh, what's this? A new pen. In one of these episodes, I'm actually going to explain a little bit about the pen that I use, because this is. I mean, there's nothing expensive about this pen, but it is what I consider to be the ideal pen for writing Hanja and Hangul. Anyway, but gi il, gi e, gi sam, gi il, gi e, gi sam, gi il, gi e, gi sam. So this, in the first stroke, gi il, this is pretty much a right angle. And in the second stroke, gi e just goes straight across. And the third stroke is curved in 2 places. Gi sam, and flips up at the end. Gi il, gi e, gi sam. Gi il, gi e, gi sam. Gi e il, gi e, gi sam. Gi il, gi e, gi sam. Gi il, gi e, gi sam. And even though I am making some effort to do this fairly carefully, I still want to emphasize that I consider the main benefit of writing the characters. I mean, you will get better as you continue to write them, but you will remember them if you write them. Gi il, gi e, gi sam. Gi il, gi e, gi sam. Gi il, gi e, gi sam. Okay, and so that is the Hanja for the 6th heavenly stem, and of course you might notice that what I'm using as the backing here. This is actually not if you're interested in. Yeah, it's too close. I'll show it later. But if you're interested in Chinese characters, the Tuttle Publishing Company, which I have no relationship with whatsoever, other than I bought a bunch of their books. I just bought some of their Vietnamese books recently. Anyway, they have 2 really nice big books on the first 100 and the second 100 Chinese characters. And I'm using the first 100 Chinese characters. Anyway, and of course you have to be careful. They have the traditional and the simplified versions. You have to, in my opinion, you should get the traditional. Anyway, this is gi il, gi e. Only 2 strokes. Gi il, gi e, 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 gi il, gi e. Now see this, if you pay attention to where the lines are, it helps you to figure out how to gi il, gi e, 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 gi il, gi e. Okay, all right. Let's I think that's all we need with the Hanja cam for today. Is there another slide? Oh, there's 2 more slides. Yeah, let's keep going. Oh yeah, so this is the there's really only one more slide. This is the slide that has the all of the, and this is corrected, the one that I had yesterday. I'll get this out of the way. I think I can do this a little bit more. There we go. There. All right. This is corrected from yesterday's, and I think I had it mostly. Oh, what was that? Let's see. Get out of there. This is the Hangul that we did today. I did the wrong button. Yeah, the 1-stroke, 2-stroke, gi e, gi il, and this has all 10 of the and I think these are all correct now. Every time I look at these slides, I find things that need work. And anyway, that's it for today. We looked at the 6th heavenly stem, and of course tomorrow we'll be doing the next heavenly stem, Gyong. But that's it for now, and see ya.